Hey there, it's Fight here with a review of Marlon Sanders' Big Ticket Dashboard. So this is aimed at people who want to sell some high-end coaching. And when I say high-end, it's, $1,000 up. Coaching or consulting. So if you're, let's say, an offline consultant or a coach, or you want to get people into live events where you're speaking from stage or you're teaching from stage, or if you want to get people into mastermind, this is a great product. And actually, I've gone through it. I've gone through a lot of it, not all of it yet, but even the bits I've seen, it's absolutely worth every single penny. So I want to show you a couple of examples. I'll just show you the first three and why I think it's so great, and then just an example of the more technically oriented modules like the Facebook optimization one. So in the Get Started, I'm not going to show you the whole thing. What I'm going to do is show you the overall process, which is this: understand the big picture. Maybe as a big picture, the format of the whole course is, as you saw, there's a dashboard. It's 6 days with 6 weeks. 5 weeks with 6 days each. So for 6 weeks you have one. For 5 weeks you have. God, my counting is totally off. For 5 weeks you have 6 days worth of work, and when I say days worth of work, is about 20 minutes, half an hour, or something like that. So here's an example of one of those. You basically need to go and read through this. Week 1 is more reading and understanding and making decisions. Later on, it's then implementing. So this is not very much. There's a couple of extra videos. There is a couple of extra videos. That's not even English. There are a couple of extra videos. But the one thing I want to show you in here is this one here, understand the big picture. So the overall process is very, very simple. You get people to a webinar, and as it says later on, you don't have to use webinars. There are other options, and the same goes for the traffic where he uses Facebook. And again, he says, well, these are options. You don't have to use Facebook advertising, but there are other ways to get results. The main process is you get people to a webinar, registration page, they sign up, you get them to a great webinar, and then you basically sell them into, or make the offer for the high-end coaching. That in itself is nothing new, but first of all, there are two things here at play. The first one is it's explained in a step-by-step fashion. So as you can saw on the previous screen, it's this layout, 5 weeks, and every single day you do something, and then you are done. More importantly, though, and I think this is where the real value of this product is when you implement this, even if webinars is not your favorite thing in the world, or Facebook is not your favorite thing in the world, it puts you in a position where you have something in place and then you promote. And that is the key thing. This is where most people fail and spend months and months and years and eventually do something, or most likely don't do something, because they never have something in place where they can get started. And that is the real value of Marlon's product here. You are very, very quickly in a position where you have something, and then you can start promoting. And then you get feedback from the market. And I think somewhere near the bottom, he even says it, all right? The formula is plan, do, check, act. It's not plan, right? And this is the key thing. Most people never succeed because they plan and plan and plan and think about it some more, and how about this and how about the other, and plan some more, and never do, all right? The key thing is there's no way, especially when you lack marketing experience, to anticipate what's going to happen. And that's why this model, the model underlying what Marlon is not only teaching you but getting you to do, is so powerful, okay? Because you plan something, come up with a quick plan, and that's all done for you. So what you need to do is go and do this here, and it's very, very simple. It's just a couple of decisions, and then you go and do it, and then you check the results. The market will tell you if what you did does work or not. Here's an example. If people aren't opting into your webinar list, as it will be explained later, then you come up with a new topic or improve the copy you have describing the webinar you're offering. Now, I can tell you from personal experience, right? There is nothing more disheartening in the beginning. You set up your squeeze page, you set up your whole project, and people are not opting in. My personal record is to set up a bunch of squeeze pages to a live event where they're supposed to come about 150,000 visitors. Now, this was basically a JV promotion. So I had 12 joint venture partners lined up, and they all told me what the size of their list is, and they all said they'll do a full promotion, And so I was expecting 150,000 clicks to my promotion. Set up battle-hardened servers, had to several servers, to make sure if one falls over, then the other one can take over, and all that good stuff. And then I sort of came home sweating hands, checking the stats, and 600 people had opted in. Out of the 650, 150 or 600, and then 150 eventually showed up to the webinar, and nobody bought. Right. So this is the reality. In the beginning, when you have no idea what you're doing, you just have an idea for a product and you're starting to market, most likely you're going to fall flat on your face. Now, basically, I continued. I fell on my face and I continued and got up and dusted myself off and did something else. And it hurts. The first time, that's total rejection. The same happens when you get feedback from the market. Hey, I want a refund for my product, for the product. You poured your heart and soul into that product, and then they go, they want a refund. How dare they? So on and on and on and on. Okay, this is the reality of marketing, and this is really where Marlon's product comes in. If they're not opting into your webinar list, well, it is what it is, right? It's not that you specifically did something wrong. Your guess wasn't good enough. Who cares? You come up with a new topic, improve the copy, and then you try again. And that little thing here, it sounds so innocent, and then you try again. That is where most people eventually give up, because they don't have this thing in place. Okay, they basically a simple foundational piece where they can go, and this promote basically means try one idea after another. That is the reality of marketing. You have something in place, you try again and 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 again. I'll give you the next example where most people go wrong when they create products, right? They have a fabulous idea for a product, they put it out to the market, or no, they don't put it out to the market. They go, wow, what other features might the market probably want? And they build this ultimate huge thing. And then they put it out into the market and nobody wants it. So they've wasted all this one great time and resources and money on creating something the market never wanted. And why is that? Because they didn't ask the market. This thing here, the promote, really is the essence of what it's all about. Promote is not in the sense of pushing it down people's throats. It's all about getting feedback from the market very, very quickly, so you can figure out what it is they truly want, so they can actually go, yes, that's what I want, and here's my money. Right? That's what it's about. It's not about dodgy sales psychology, etc. And really, that is why I love what you're seeing here in Marlon's thing, because you're getting the foundation and you're getting it in a very step-by-step fashion to set up something where you can then start promoting. Alrighty, so that's enough about that one. I'll keep the other one short. Plan profits. It's kind of in your face when you go in here and goes, well, let's look at the reality of what it costs to acquire a customer. And I'm going to give you just the first things, very rough numbers. And this is the beauty. This is where Marlon's background comes in. He's connected to a ton of people in the industry, and he talks to them. He talks to the likes of, well, the only one he doesn't talk to is Frank Kern, apparently. But he talks to Kevin Nations and so on and on and on, and people who are in those programs. So he knows what the actual cost of a customer acquisition is. Now he says here, well, it's from anywhere between 50 to 70 to $100, and you might be thinking, holy smoke, I can't afford that. And I've been there, right? I was in a position where I thought, there's no way I can pay $50 or $70 or $100 to acquire a customer. But of course, when you then get to the place where you get paid $1,000 or $2,000 or $10,000 by that customer, well, it's very, very quickly possible to pay $50 for, well, this is just for an application. So if you have a good conversion process and you convert 1 in 3, it's going to cost you $300. Or if you convert 1 in 5, then it's going to cost you $500. But still, you're making $1,000. So this whole product is not about, you'll click some buttons and you make a ton of money. It's the opposite. And I love this, that he's very realistic. He talks about the numbers that are real in the real world. So in the beginning, yes, you're going to have 50 to 70 to $100 to get someone on the phone or a Skype call and talk to them and say, look, this is what I've got. Tell me about your problem. Let's see if it's a good fit. And if so, give me some money. absolutely based on reality, and not only, one of the realities, Marlon's reality, but lots and lots of people in the industry. Right, two more. Pick a model. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but the one thing that is very, very cool in here is that he talks about the evolution of the coaching model. What is there? What is the 8-week model, and why do people choose the 8-week model? What's the difference to the 6-week model? What do you need to do to sell the $10,000 8-week model versus the $597 model? So he goes through the whole things, like, what have Lee McIntyre done, Frank Kern, Kevin Nations, Matt Basak, Devin Brown, all these guys who are very, Russell Brunson, all these guys who are super, super successful with the high-end coaching model. What have they done? How have they evolved? Who has done what first? Who has adopted techniques from the other guys? It's all in here in the Pick the Model, and that alone, is that history lesson is worth the price of admission, in my opinion. Now, talking about price of admission, I'll give you one more, and I'm not going to go into it. It's this optimized thing here, right? Facebook ads, like he says, it's one of the models you can use, but you should, later on expand to other ones. He's got something in there on the optimize, which is based on how Facebook currently works. And although I kind of superficially knew it intellectually, I never really grasped the idea of how to do a step-by-step, sort of layered optimization. And that in itself, again, is worth the price of admission. Now, when I say it's worth the price of admission, it's in the sense of, if you're doing any sort of Facebook advertising, if you do that, I think it's a 5-step process, he says, describes in there. If you do that, you'll save so much money in absolutely no time that you can literally buy this course, Marlon's course, 10 times over in like a day or 2 days, depending on your ad spend, of course. So there's a ton of great content in here, and it's based on real world results. So it definitely gets a double thumbs up if you are into any sort of selling high-end coaching or consulting, masterminds, if you have live events where you want people to show up, or anything like these. If you're organizing breakfast meetings and want to get people in, anything like that, it's I really highly recommend you go and check out his course. There's a link somewhere around here, up, down, left, right. Alrighty, I hope that's useful. As usual, if you have any questions, just let me know. Cheers, bye.